Hi, I want to welcome you here, and first I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Elroy. My legal name's Vernon, but I go by Elroy. And I'm just a common old cowboy from North Dakota that's found a better way, and I want to share what I believe to be some great information with you. Okay, let's get into it. So in this video I'm going to cover and address some seriously disturbing stuff about eight-figure dream lifestyle, while still showing you how to get around all that stuff and make some great money while doing it. And I'm going to explain why so many people are correct when they say the whole thing's rigged against them from the beginning. But most important, I'm going to share with you a little secret that you can still use to make a lot of money and maybe replace your day job or even retire early. I'll also address the #1 complaint people have after watching Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle presentation, and where to get a much better alternative, and why these people keep calling me about Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle. And I'm also going to cover why almost all the coaches in Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle teaches voice broadcast, even though there's far less expensive and much better ways to get sales that won't bleed your wallet dry. I'll also give you an inside look at the objections you'll face with big ticket marketing and how to overcome them. And lastly, I explain, in my opinion, how these big ticket companies like Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle and the coaches have stacked the deck against you. How you can still make huge profits in it if you can understand it, and if you understand what they're doing. It kind of reminds me of the house having the cards stacked against you. But you're about to learn how to beat them at their own game and get paid the big ticket money that you most likely came in search of when you found this video. Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle seems to be getting most of the attention these days of all the big ticket companies out there, and there's about 5 of them, and I'm sure you know this. I get lots of people calling me whom are interested in Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle, and here's a sample of what those calls sound like. Okay, the phone rings, I pick up. Hello, this is Elroy. How can I help you? Well, I saw one of your videos on Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle, and I first want to know, is it legit? And I tell them, yes, it's legitimate. Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle is a very creditable company and truly legitimate. You know, they ask, is it a scam? No, it's not a scam. And I realize there's a lot of things out there that we need to be cautious of, but Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle is truly legitimate. And like I said earlier, very, very creditable. But there's some good things and some bad things that you should know about, just like in any company. I receive phone calls almost daily from upset people who have been told by Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle coaches to do voice broadcasting. When I ask what their biggest issue is with it, this is the common response I get. Well, I've spent $2,000 to $3,000, and if they're trying to conserve money, maybe they've spent $1,000 on ads and the voice broadcasting, and no results. Again, everybody's going to tell you that's the way to do it. So my typical lead on the phone is asking me, well, why are they telling me to do this if it doesn't work? You know, that's a very good question. And here's some theories on that question. And that is that the founders and the coaches of Eight-Figure Dream Lifestyle basically like to have all the newbies and beginners doing a lot of voice broadcasting, because it does get people interested in doing the business. it creates a demand out there for the business. So they get all these soldiers, the good little soldiers, paying their money to get the phones ringing around the world and around the country, telling them all about this thing, 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. Well, now there's a whole bunch of people Googling and YouTubing for 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. What happens is it benefits them more, in my opinion, than the beginner who's spending all the money on voice broadcasting, and that's benefiting, again, the company coaches and not the beginners. The phone calls that we regularly get are people who in some cases have invested upwards of $20,000, maybe $4,000 on voice broadcasting in their first 30 days and have not gotten a sale yet. And they're very upset. Or in the event that they did make their first, maybe one sale, it wasn't even enough to cover the advertising. By that I mean, let's say they got a sale for $3,500 and they spent $4,000 on voice broadcasting. That's a negative $500, and there's nothing wonderful about that. The good news is there's a much better way, and it's free. My mentor and business partner has created 2 generic videos which completely eliminates the need for voice broadcasting. The best part is the first video does all the explaining of big ticket, and the second video does all the closing for you. And like I said, they're generic, so you can use them with 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. Again, 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle can work as long as you know how it all works. That's the thing I want to emphasize. 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle can definitely work. And we've got our own little recipe that's working very, very well. Some of the things here are in different order, but I'm sure you'll still appreciate knowing what people ask me. So some people ask me, what is going wrong here? So like I told you earlier, when all these phone calls are going out all over the place, it's getting people interested. Like I said earlier, there are people doing the Google searches and YouTube searches. That's probably what brought you here. There are people immediately doing the Google searches and the YouTube searches like you may have done. That's the problem though. The person who paid for all the voice broadcasting and advertising, those people usually end up Googling or YouTubing. Let's face it, we all do it. It's just human nature. So you know I'm being realistic with you, and that's the way things work. That's how you found me here. So some people could argue, well, if you just do voice broadcast alone, it doesn't say 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle in the initial voice broadcast message. When a person, just a random stranger, picks it up and there's a message, hello, how would you like to make an extra $500 or $10,000 a month? So that's pretty generic. And so the individual leaves a message requesting more info, and Susie or Joe gets all excited because they've got a lead. So they contact the individual back and give them the information of a link to the website or the video. That's the standard issue that you're given by the 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle folks. And that's when you lose your prospect. Because that person doesn't really know you. There's no real loyalty there at this point. There's no bond been created. So when you send them to the website and it's talking all about 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle and these top coaches, it's just human nature because there's no bond there yet. Their phone rang and you called them back and gave them a website, or you send them to a webinar and they hear a bunch of coaches' names thrown around and 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. And it's natural. They're going to do a Google, YouTube search, and they're going to end up right here on YouTube where they will see all the leads and big name coaches of 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. And so you've got to ask yourself, do you stand a chance when you have all the heads of the company, the owners and the coaches, all right there at the top of the searches when people Google and YouTube 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle? In my opinion, your chances are slim to none. Unless you do something different than what they tell you. Because they're going to tell you to use the standard website or voice broadcasting they give you. And many times when people call, they have spent, in many cases, more on voice broadcasting in the past 3 to 6 months than they did on their original package. Imagine that, spending more on advertising than you did on your whole entry fee to get your membership and have nothing to show for it. Nada, zip, zero, nothing. Sometimes I'll get people will call me and they'll say something like, well, I'm having success, and it's not till I drill down a little bit deeper and ask them something like, well, so how much have you made? And they'll say, somewhere around 6,000. And then I say, that sounds great, but how much have you spent on advertising? And they'll say, around 7,000. And it's like they're in denial until they come to the realization that they've actually spent more on advertising than they've taken in. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the solution. That's what you're here for. You're not here to hear about all these negative calls that I get about people being upset, so on and so forth. I want to give you the solutions. You probably want to know what solution I give them to turn things around in 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. Because like I said earlier, an 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle is a legitimate company. You have to do it completely different than you're told by the typical coach, in my opinion. And here's what I mean. My business partner and I started doing big ticket thing all the way back about 8 years ago. But you can call me if you're interested in knowing about any of the other ones that we have experienced out there. There are much better ways to advertise than voice broadcasting, and they're free. And you get a much higher quality lead than the ones who have been beaten to death with voice broadcasting. And you talk to about anyone who has done the voice broadcasting, and there's some really angry people out there. And you don't want to be on the other end of that line. So I like the way we get leads, and it's free. And you can do it for a long time and test it out, and at least you're not in the hole every day. Some people will tell you free advertising is bad, and that's not true. Free advertising is excellent if you know how to do it, which I can show you. But the reason I like it, it's free. And the lead quality, the way we do it, is spectacular. I mean, I'll show you how to get leads in a way that most people don't know. Maybe the reason for this is my business partner and I have been teaching internet marketing for over 19 years, and we know what works. We figured it out. It's in the videos and marketing materials that the big ticket companies issue the newbies and beginners. They have their company name, coaches' names all over them, mentioned over and over. So as I mentioned earlier, my business partner made 2 generic videos. They have no names in them, so they can be used with any big ticket company that you choose to join. The problem with a lot of the cookie cutter videos, I call them, that these big ticket companies, like 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle, provide their beginners, is they're chock full of hype and overproduced, and in my opinion cause the beginners to lose their prospects. Anyway, these generic videos eliminate all that and can be personalized for our team members. So what happens when your prospect is done watching them? They have to call you. They can't call someone else. This gives you the protection you deserve. I call it leveling the playing field and increasing the potential for you to make a lot of money in this industry. In my opinion, you're just this beginner who, if you do what they tell you to, you're up against all the big name coaches and companies. In fact, many people argue that the company founders and coaches should not be competing against their affiliates, and I tend to agree. Okay, this concludes my shocking truth about 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. I will have my contact information below this video so that you can contact me to get the links to both these amazing generic videos. You owe it to yourself to check these out. In my opinion, they will finally give all of you the opportunity to succeed. And I want to thank you very much for being here with me today, allowing me to share this information. I genuinely hope it's been helpful to you. When you call to get those links, I promise I'm not going to sell you. That's my promise to you. Just get the links, view the videos. You owe it to yourself. Again, thank you for being here, and have a blessed day.